Okay, everyone, we're back again with another product review. Today I have the RC Discharger RC car stand for the Regenerative Discharger V2. So basically, anymore when you go to a track, pit space can be limited. You normally get your 4 feet, allotment for your pit space. And, it's been pretty popular over the last few years to see guys come up with homemade car stands to stack their cars vertically, buy some products, whatnot. So what's nice about the RC Discharger Regenerative Discharger system is that it's a modular system that they basically made this available now, so you can add it on to your discharger to stack your cars above it. And they offer this car stand in 3 options. There's a 1 car stand option, 2 car, or 3 car. I'm going to put together the 2 car option, and again, based on what you buy, they'll send you, of course, the shelves and the brackets to put it all together. Then these pipes will also be different lengths too, right? If you only have a 1 car, you don't need one as tall. I chose the one with 2 cars, so I'm going to put that together and show you how it goes together here with my RC Regenerative Discharger. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is I'm going to take my Regenerative Discharger system, and I'm going to remove the feet. And basically everything that you use for assembling and disassembling, you just need a 2.5 millimeter driver. I happen to have this MIP one, but of course you can use whatever one you have. Basically on the bottom of this guy, there's 2 flathead screws. I hold this up here. So you got one here and here. You just want to remove those. They give you these longer screws and the ones that come with it that you can use for this system. So I'll go through the process real quick of removing these screws. Okay, so I got the shorter screws out. I got the feet out. I'm going to set this here gently so I don't lose the battery here. I got it plugged in slightly, so I don't want to yank it around. So again, the screws I took out are much shorter than the ones they give you. The ones they give you will go into the 2 adapters I'll show you. If I move this over here, you can see the adapter it came with the Regenerative Discharger system, and the new one has extra holes to it. So basically, what I could do is I could take this one off and I could put this one on. And I'll set this to the side here. But the 2 they give you, this base plate here has the 2 holes. That's where these long pipes go into, right? So I could attach this all together, put it on the bottom, and then this is always fixed to the bottom Regenerative Discharger. Now, if I don't want to do that, I can put on this plate, which is basically the same design as the old one. It just has 2 extra holes. So it's optional. To make it easier to travel, I could just put this on. Then, hey, when I want to put this thing together, I just basically stack it on top of there. We'll try doing that in this video to kind of show you the difference, but it just makes it a little easier for travel because, again, if you put this all together, it'll work fine, but it might just take up a little more room in your pit bag, or if you want to use the original box it came in, these little adapters for the pipes will kind of get in the way. All right, so I'm going to be careful here and set this on its side. All right, so if we're going to use the same screws that I had with this thing, so again, I can optionally put on the little tower guy. I'm going to screw this back in. Basically, if I want to use the car stand, I can make it optional because, again, now that this is on there, I'll just set this on here and I just have to line up the 2 holes here with the holes here, and it should all sync up. Again, these holes would be used for the longer screws, but they're not going to interfere now because these guys are countersunk in there already, the 2 screws that I came with. Just a matter of me lining it up here. All right, so just with those 2 screws, it kind of snaps in place so it's nice and tight. So again, I could have used the longer screws and sunk them down below so that this never comes off. But again, it makes it a little bit wider, footprint if you want to travel and store or whatever. So we're going to just put that on. There's optional. And again, with the weight of this thing, and then, if the weight of this regenerative discharger system, the battery pack, and then you actually put your charger in here, there's enough weight that it's going to basically, create the weight on the bottom for your stand so your cars don't flip over or whatever, right? So, all right. Set this to the side. So the idea is, again, these little pipes, they just go on the holes, and then you have these little brackets. If you can kind of see here, They're 3D printed. It says RC Discharger in there. You can put it on either way you want to. I mean, I'm going to slide them on. Oops, I just went. Again, use the same 2.5 millimeter to kind of loosen these things up here. Now you can assemble it all together, then pop it in at the end. I mean, you know, it's kind of however you want to do it. I'm just going to loosen these guys up here, make sure I can slide it on. And that's what's nice. If you need to adjust the height of your car shells once you get this thing all together, you just simply loosen these nuts and tighten it up, and there you go. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Again, I can adjust this later if I need to. Now again, I could have the top shelf way at the top of these pipes. I mean, just again, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna probably get it so it's kind of flush with the top. That way I'm using, you know, the most space, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it, but I think I'll go something like that. Again, if I don't like it, I just simply tighten up these 4 screws that hold each bracket on there. And I'm gonna make sure they're tight, but I don't want to overdo it and, you know, break anything, right? So because, you know, these are 3D printed, they're solid, but you know, you don't want to get He-Man on these things and destroy them. So I'm just gonna get it so it's nice and tight. I haven't fully tested this with other scale cars, but right now I'd say this is definitely good for 10 scale electric. You know, on road, off road, especially like 10 scale buggies, which is really popular in the off road scene. You could probably run your 12th scale pan cars, no problem, as long as they fit onto these, as long as they don't fall through the hole in these brackets. Maybe like a Mini Z, you know, well, Mini Z might be pushing it, but you know, anything you want to basically put on there for these shelves. So I'll slide this over. I'll turn it around here. So again, they're just going to go into these. Oops, get my wire out of the way here. I'm just going to snug into or fit snug into those holes there. Okay. And then these shelves, they basically they just go over the middle section, or excuse me, they just go over these brackets here. When they go over these brackets, basically there's this, you know, they kind of just sit on there with their, you know, like there's kind of like a hook, and they just go on there. That's another reason to get these tight, so that if you don't make them tight, these are wider and it might be fighting you. So make sure those are tight, so it's gonna not move and it's gonna have plenty of room here. But basically, you just put them on there like that. Move my camera here a little bit. Back this thing up. So you can kind of see now. Now I got a nice shelf to put my car on. I can put a second one up here. I'll move the camera here a little bit. And yeah, that's basically it. Again, it's a light. It's portable. And if I want to remove this, you know, I just pop these 2 posts out. I can remove the feet, or again, if I went for the optional screws to leave them in, they're in all the time. But otherwise, yeah, that's basically it. And with this setup, you can, you know, you can have your pit space freed up because you got your cars above your regenerative discharger system, which is nice because it's gonna, you know, save you a lot of room. And it's portable. It's lightweight, so it's not gonna add a lot of, you know, weight to your pit bag as you're using it. And again, I would say this is better for 10 scale electric. You know, if you want to try a 8 scale e-buggy, that's probably gonna be too heavy, to be honest with you. Even with the weight of the regenerative discharger and your charger on there, I don't think it's going to support something like an 8 scale buggy. If you want to try that, I'd caution you and do that at your own risk. But honestly, I think if you run 10 scale electric off road or on road, this thing's going to be pretty good for you. So in conclusion, I hope that helps you to understand what the system is, show you how easy it is to set up, how easy it is to tear down, and yeah, you know, that way you can free up some pit space and look super down the pits. And you know, like I said, once you invest into the system, not only are you getting better performance out of your batteries, but you're making life a lot easier, which is always a goal on race day, right? You don't want to have all these things to fight you as you're trying to, you know, fight the other competitors out on the track. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please you know, like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and we'll see you in the next one.